Jamming with History, a Sandersides fanfic. Written and read by Love Living My Dreams. Let it go. Virgil was beaming and vibrating in his seat as their plane made a lap around the Magic Kingdom before heading to the airport. Only taking his eyes off the spectacle so Roman could snap a selfie of them both. "I can't believe that just happened," he whispered as the fireworks faded from view. "Believe it, and if you like that, you are going to love everything else I got planned." Roman grinned, feeling a little smug. Virgil looked at him with wide eyes. "You didn't think I'd hold back after everything you did for my birthday, right? Consider it a belated birthday gift from me," he stated. "You are actually insane," Virgil breathed as he ran a hand through his hair. "And you love it," Roman pointed out with a playful nudge. "It's well overdue after all these years," he added. "Years?" Oh, his mom had heard that. "Yeah, we discovered that we were online friends way before I moved here," Virgil surmised casually. Roman nodded in confirmation as he watched his mother dissect that information and decided to let it go. For now, at least. "Small world," she said, before turning back toward her husband to continue their conversation. "So you have a whole itinerary for us, or?" Roman chuckled. "I got some ideas, but all are open to suggestion. My folks want us to have breakfast with them so they can ensure that we know about the plans for the shoots for that day. It's important we're never late for those." Lighting stopped. "Other than that, as long as we complete our worksheets by the end of the day, we are free to do whatever we want," he explained. Virgil nodded in understanding. "Okay, that makes sense," he nodded. "It's low season, so you won't be in line for anything for that long, and anything you feel like eating or want to bring home as a souvenir, you just tell me. I will buy stuff I think you and your family will like if you try to weasel your way out of me buying you stuff." "I'll get us matching everything. Do not test me," he warned. Virgil chuckled. "I believe you," he nodded. "Thanks, by the way. I don't even feel as nervous about the whole modeling thing anymore, knowing I got all this cool stuff to look forward to." "Thanks," he smiled. Roman shrugged. "You are more than welcome," he stated. "Attention passengers, we are about to start our descent. Please strap in if you aren't already and sit tight," the pilot announced. "This is nuts," Virgil whispered to himself as he made sure he was secured. As they landed and were loaded on their ride to the park, they discussed rides they wanted to try out and characters they wanted to meet. Roman was excited that Hercules was at the park right when they were going. Virgil was a bit taken aback when Roman's parents told him that their luggage was already at the park waiting for them in their rooms. It had been collected and sent ahead around noon when his parents made the decision to move things up. Finally, they arrived at the park itself and headed for the lagoon where, unbeknownst to Virgil, they'd split paths with the rest of the group. "Well, good evening, boys. Remember, breakfast at 9, his father warned, as he gave Roman a quick hug and kiss on the head. "No problem, Dad. We'll see you tomorrow," Roman promised as he kissed his mother good night as well. "Bye, boys," she smiled carefully before turning around and leading the other models away. Why aren't we going with them?" Virgil asked. "Well, they're staying at the Floridian. We are staying at the Polynesian resort. There are less characters there, but we get our own cabin, which is a decent trade-off. The Floridian is very nice, but it feels way more like a hotel, and I thought you'd like the more private feel of a cabin and stuff." Roman shrugged as he led the way to the resort. "Wow. Your parents like me now?" Virgil asked as he followed Roman down the path along the lagoon. "They have for a bit. I think they warmed up to you as they saw how much fun I was having out with you, and hearing all you did for my birthday really gave them that extra nudge to be reassured that you aren't just in it for cool getaway trips and free stuff," Roman explained. "Still, do they still think we're like dating but not telling them. Because I don't know if my folks would let me be in one room with a guy I liked like this. Virgil muttered awkwardly. Woman chuckled. They are trusting me to be responsible. I came out to them a bit ago, and other than a refresher on the talk, nothing had changed much. They pretty much already knew anyway. Virgil flinched. Oof, well, giving you the talk means they care. That's how I try to look at it whenever my parents do something embarrassing, he offered sympathetically. Woman chuckled. Yeah, they really do. Now, last one to check in is the greasy hands man, he challenged as he took off in a sprint. Hey, no fair, Virgil objected, and as he came after him. Woman would disagree. Even with his head start, he and Virgil pretty much arrived at check-in at the same time. Woman got them registered and accepted the key to their cabin from the front desk clerk and led Virgil down the path. This place is amazing, Virgil breathed as he walked around the room, taking in every inch. Glad you like it. Woman smiled. Hey, come here. He pulled Virgil in next to him for another selfie and then proceeded to take a pic of the view in their room. I'm gonna take another one in the morning, he mused. What is it with you and pictures today? Virgil chuckled. I wanted to work on my online presence a bit, control the narrative and stuff. Take away some of the power the media has over me by reporting my own stuff faster than they can. By example, sharing awesome cabin with my bestie. Hashtag holiday, hashtag oh my god, there was only 2 beds. And with that he hit post on his latest Insta post. He'd posted about their trip back at the airport, and that post was already getting a lot of traction. There were apparently enough people who'd taken an interest in him just from the few pictures circulating online of him so far. He knew if he was going to be queer in public with a boyfriend who had a non-traditional view on masculine clothing, one that woman was 100% into by the way, then everything he did in public would have to be done with the understanding that it would reflect on the community as a whole. But no pressure or anything. Virgil chuckled. Nice one. He grinned. Woman bowed with a smile of his own, and they started to unpack their things. Suddenly he heard the sound of a thunder and looked up. That was Virgil's message notification sound. I sent in my video to my folks in the gang. I just got internet back on, and all the replies are rolling in. They're all pretty excited, Virgil shrugged. Glad they are happy for you, Woman nodded. Virgil nodded as he stared at his phone and took a seat on his bed, catching Woman's full attention. What's wrong? He wondered. Thomas. The cartoon therapy thing I played in will air by the end of the month, and he wants to make sure I'm cool with being in it. I am, I just brought back some stuff, and with everything else happening, I don't know. Sorry, I'm bringing the mood down. Virgil sighed in frustration as he sat on his bed, focusing on texting Thomas back. Woman put away the shirts he had in his hands and went to join Virgil. You aren't doing anything wrong. Wanna talk about it? He offered. Virgil looked up hesitantly. He clearly wanted to. It'll keep on bugging you if you hold back for my sake. What's on your mind? He pushed gently. Virgil sighed and looked ahead. It's dumb. I don't know what I want to do with my life. I survived cancer. I feel like I kind of owe it to the world, to the kids I knew that didn't make it out of that hospital. Woman tried not to show any shift in his emotions, but he hadn't thought about it yet. We had no fellow patients who hadn't made it. But I have no clue what I could do. I mean, I like arts, and your parents have given me this awesome modeling gig. And then Katie freaking Ledecky said I could do actual professional swimming, and it sounds like something I should be aiming for. After all the trouble I've been for my family. Woman frowned at that but didn't interrupt yet. Virgil needed to voice his thoughts before he could argue with any of it. But I don't know if I have what it takes to become a big-time artist or a supermodel or a professional swimmer. None of that ever seemed things that were within my sight, let alone reach. But everyone recently seems to think, prom king? Seriously? I just want to make them proud. I want to be worth the effort, Virgil finished after a long pause, curling in on himself. Well, mission accomplished, Woman concluded. Virgil looked up confused. Woman stood up and pulled Virgil along. Let's take a walk, come on, he urged him on. Lucky for Woman, they weren't far from the connection to the mainland. He wanted a little distance between them and the other Bora Bora canvas for this. Virgil went to reach for his shoes, but Woman kept pulling him along. Once they were at the beach, they strolled for a moment down the shoreline, as Woman gathered his thoughts. He hadn't expected to do this part of his plan today, but Virgil needed to hear all of this now. Virgil, they are already proud of you, he stated without any doubt. It is obvious in everything they do, and as for worth it? Virgil, Woman turned to him. Do you think I'm worth the effort you went through on my birthday? He asked. Virgil was clearly surprised by that. Of course, why would I do all that if I didn't? He declared firmly, almost angry. Exactly. Same goes for me, your friends, and your family, Woman pointed out. Virgil flushed and looked away stubbornly. Woman took a deep breath. He ruined everything. I know right now you feel lost, he sang, his voice soft and gentle. Virgil's head snapped up, his eyes wide with surprise. Woman took his wrist in his hand, not wanting to overwhelm Virgil by taking his hands directly. He sang on, still soft and reassuring. Like you should find a way on your own, but you have done it at the cost. And I'm not gonna let you pay it alone. He let his voice swell, building up for the bridge to the chorus. I know you will find your way, but look around, we're all here to stay. He let go of one of Virgil's wrists and spun him around before dancing through the chorus with him. Whether you become an astronaut or stay more down to earth, you might discover what it's all about, or you might find what you're worth. Every story you'll begin, you can count me in. Very gently, Woman slowed down and softened his voice again, pulling Virgil along to continue walking along the beach as he sang on, basking in Virgil's wide-eyed disbelief. You might be filled with doubts, sometimes the walls are closing and your head feels filled with shouts. Anywhere you turn, there's no way to win. Woman glanced at Virgil playfully as they headed into the water, getting to the bridge again. Yet you struggle and fall and you rise again. I can see you stand tall, you can count me in. Woman made a big jump, splashing them both with water, much to Virgil's amusement. They both danced and splashed through the chorus. Whether you are a late-night clerk or an Olympic champion who faced the world with a smirk, your story has just begun. You'll give it a new spin, and no worries, you can count us in. Woman grabbed Virgil by the arm and pulled him close in a hug. 'Cause life is full of highs and lows, you gotta jump in blind. There's no telling how it goes, no clue what you may find. He pulled back and brushed the hair out of Virgil's face, looking him in the eye. Gosh, this would be a moment to kiss him. But not now. This was about Virgil, not them. Get to the bat and take that swing. No matter what, you can count us in. He spun him again and nearly dropped him in the water, though he saved it with a dip, after which they went back to their little water dance break. You might take the cup or not make it to the race. You're not one for giving up. You'll find your own pace. Maybe you'll drop the ball or rock up modeling. Virgil through it all. You can count me in. Roman stopped dancing and turned to Virgil, who realized he was the only one splashing in the water like a kid. Roman finished his song with the soft, soothing tones he started it with. Backed up by friends and family, all those that you love, they will make you see you are more than enough. You can count on me. Thank you guys. That was this chapter. I apologize very much for my singing. But I tried my best to give that song a melody. I hope you liked it. Next chapter next week. Bye.